Hello. Namaskar. You may have watched short video clips. Oh. What a wonder this festival is. This festival is really fun. This is a very enjoyable festival of Bhaktapur, which lasts for 8 nights and 9 days. I am going to make a video about when, where, and who started this festival. I will try to cover many things. Please support by commenting. Let's start with how this festival started. No exact evidence has been found as to when and who started this festival. But according to an inscription found in Lele, this festival can be considered to have started in the Lichhavi period. Many legends can be found about how it started. But here I have tried to present only a close and reliable legend. Once the king of Bhaktapur was playing a game of hunting in a jungle. The male snake was killed by the king's bow while a pair of snakes were playing. Weeping, the female snake cursed him. "You destroyed my family, now your family will not be spared." Disappointed, the king returned to the palace. During the night, the king was found dead while sleeping and only the queen was awake. Then another king was immediately made. The king also died while sleeping with the queen. He tried to make others king, but he died the same way. Thus the dynasty of the king was destroyed. Needless to say, he also made nobles kings. But all died in the same process. He also made others in the village. But no one was spared. Even till now, one can hear from the elders that one king changed in a day. Now everyone was afraid to be a king. A brave man agreed to be king. Because he wanted to find out what caused it. He could not sleep at night because of this case. But the queen slept in a deep sleep. After some time, he saw 2 snakes coming out of the nose of the queen. Now he understood that snakes bite all kings and die. Then he began to tear the snakes to pieces. The more he cut, the longer the snake grew. Finally, he succeeded in this. On the other hand, other people were preparing for the funeral, thinking that this king might also be dead. But everyone was surprised to see the king and queen come out smiling. The king answered the question of how this was possible. The snakes coming out of the queen's nose are biting those kings. The queen also said that one day the king went hunting. Suddenly the king's arrow killed one of the snakes and another snake cursed him. Then this happened. Now what to do with the snakes? One person said to hang it on a dry tree. Then they celebrated the victory by hanging them on a tree. It seems that this lingo started to be picked up since then. Nowadays we have seen hanging halingpat in place of snakes. In Newari, snake is called bay. Biska Jatra is the festival of killing snakes. This festival is also known as Biscuit Jatra. There are 6 main people known as Bailaneo to celebrate the festival. According to Narayan Prasad Kaitu, a person who loves culture, Nakinju Kacha Jatra started first. Only then was the festival of raising the lingo considered. Naking means ajima. Men used to menstruate first. Parvati could not see the menstruating of the half-naked Mahadev. So Parvati took that responsibility. He says that women's periods have started since then.
जेन्ट्स त चाहिँ निरन्तर चाहिँ महिनाभरि चाहिँ मोले मालिउपट्टि नापा अझै मैं भुटान धनी निरन्तर समाचार बेला भयो अटकन धनी भुटान यहाँ आउँदा छन् ओले लिसिन दिन चाहिँ लेडीज चाहिँ मीन्स इज नापा म फोटो.
One day when Parvati was taking a bath due to menstruation, Mahadev wanted to have sex with her, but she ran away. Mahadev followed her from Kashi to Bhadrakali located at Lysinkal in Bhaktapur. Then she returned him saying not today, but tomorrow. Narayan Prasad said that one day of man is 1 year of God. A day or a year later, when Mahadev came back, he saw that Parvati was having a jima. Seeing this, the locals worshipped to her as a jima. Mahadev also worshipped her. Since then people seem to have observed the festival of a jima.
We know that first people started celebrating the festival of Ajima, then raising the lingo. Now let's see how the Bear of Wrath pulling festival started. Once people became very poor, it was difficult to eat even a little food. Some even left the country. Bhadrakali Ajima tore open his stomach and ate his own intestines.
देश दुनियामा ठूलो अनिकाल परेको थियो, हाहाकार मचेको थियो, मानिसहरू खान नपाएर देश नै छाडेर अन्त जानुपर्ने त्यस्तो बाध्यात्मक स्थिति आइपरेको थियो र खान नपाएर मानिसको त के कुरा, हाम्रै आराध्य देवी भद्रकाली नै पनि भोकले आफ्नै नङ्ग्राले पेट चिरेर आफ्नै आन्द्राभुँडी आफैले खानु परेको कथा पनि छ.
It was discussed among the high-ranking people of the country, Anchabaju, Baju, and others. Finally, it was discovered that if Lord Bhairava of Kashi could be brought here, this famine would be removed this year. Anchabaju knew that Lord Bhairava had come here to observe the raising linga. Then he tried to grab Bhairava with his holy power, but he didn't want to stay here and tried to run away. Then he took the Hansia weapon of a nearby grass cutter and cut off Bhairava's head, and the head also jumped and tried to run away. Then he stopped it with his holy power. Lord Bhairava is called Akash Bhairava because he flew from the sky and came here. He was a head taller than the others. In many places the head was Jumpat. Those places are Gachabaladio, Chokyajama, Luchinani, Laklachin, Chapdale, Sabhanga, Baladio, Isamari Kunch, etc. Therefore, since Hansia weapon cut off Bhairav's head, it is customary that Hansia should not cut meat. But on the 7th day of death Ninhuma they cut the flesh with the Hansia to worship the gods. Finally, Bhairav agreed to live here, where there should be 16 paths and a burial place Aryagat. Accordingly, he was kept in Ta. MRI and Bhairava temple was built. From that day, the festival of pulling the chariot of Bhairava began. Even today, we can find their 12 ways from Gahidi to Ta, Mary. A good time came as Bhairav agreed to stay here. 1 grain of rice was enough for a family when cooked. There was a situation where only 1 grain of rice was enough for the feast. It is customary to carry 2 grains of rice on the day of Biscuit festival. The same grain of rice can be seen on the wall of Changanarian temple even today. That is why even now in the newer community, when serving rice, it is customary to say, "Have you cut the rice?"
Now we move on to discuss about Bitadio. Bhairav asked for a security guard to stay here. While searching for it, he met a mischievous child called Bital. He agreed to be a security guard. It is said that because he was mischievous, he was kept by a rope. Lord Bital is called Bitadio in Nuari language. Bital asked for a sacrifice of a hen that did not lay an egg to stay here. Therefore, even today, on the first day of the year in the morning, the local people have a tradition of sacrificing hens that have not laid eggs. After circumambulating Lord Indrayani, it is customary to worship the lingo with flowers of Indrayani and for the lingo. Now let's talk about what happens for 8 nights and 9 days. Even though the chariots are drawn from the 27th, the daily procession of Palaneos starts from the 26th. But if the month of Chaitra is till the 31st, then the chariot pulls only from the 28th. And if it is on the 30th, the chariot pulls on the 27th. If the chariot is pulled on the 27th, then on the 26th, bearer of deity will be bathed. At that time he is put to sleep on a dope swan. That flower does not fade for year. On the first day, the chariot puller is called Diokyo Biziegu. That means pulling down. It means pulling the chariot from the Pankatali temple towards the west. Therefore, 5 ropes are used at the down and 4 ropes at the up, because it depends on the force. That's why the chariot sometimes moves upwards. If it can be brought down, the people below will be happy. If it can be brought up, the people above will be happy. At first, it was taken only up to Balcha, and if it went up, it was taken only up to Sakotha. But nowadays people forcefully bring it down to Tekapuku, and when they bring it up to Dattatreya temple, another thing, on the first day people pull Naginjikajar. Most of the children enjoy pulling this chariot. It is dragged up to Gat Katol. After reaching a certain location, must return to Gahiti. If can't do so, the next day Palaneos and the local people go to get it, and they drag and bring to Gahiti. By now this chariot often breaks down, and maintenance is done here. Bringing the chariot to Gahiti is called Valak Thatalate. The second day of the Biska festival is called Daiku, because on that day there is no work without the daily work of Palaneos. On the third day, people sacrifice a buffalo called Lakuftmi, then at night they distribute choila of the buffalo at Lake Olakan. On the fourth day, the last day of the year, in the morning, a lingo without hands is picked up in Pottery Square. Similarly, in the afternoon, Palaneos, after having their feast, places Paladio in the Bairav's chariot, and people start pulling Bairav's chariot. They pull it from Gahiti to Lasinkhel. Then, if the chariot and the lingo come together, the lingo is started pulling. But picking up the lingo is not easy. Sometimes thousands of people can't even pick up it. After the linga rises, the festival begins in every places, that is, the chariots of the gods and goddesses rotate from their respective places and perform worship. Lord Ganesha of Itakan, for example, is worshipped by rolling it in Inigal. Similarly, Lord Indrayani is also taken around the local area. As soon as Lingo gets up, an attempt is made to climb the rope and throw the money on Lingo's head. He who succeeds in the beginning is lucky.
On the 5th day,
After that, after turning around Lord Indrayani, people worship the flower of Indrayani and begin to fall the lingo.
It is evening. But the lingo is not easy to fall down. This is happened because 8 ropes pull from all sides. This movement is called Enhilan Bwakugu. Then both the chariots, Balak, and Nakinjakeka, are pulled towards Gahiti. And in Gahiti, both the chariots are fought with each other. This movement is called Ka, Lwakgo. After the fight, Azim's chariot is driven away. On the 6th day they celebrate the festival of Mahakali and Mahalakshmi. At that time they are moved to Rud local area and worshipped. They also fight with each other. Similarly, on the 7th day they celebrate the festival of Brahmayani and Maheshvari. And at that time they are moved to Rud local area and worshipped. They also fight with each other. The 8th day is called Bwocheago or Dioshwan by Ego. On that day local gods are worshipped putting outside. On that day at least 55 or 56 deities are worshipped outside. On the last day or on the 9th day in the morning, there is a custom of falling unhandled lingo in Pottery Square. In the afternoon, locals start pulling Bairav's chariot down or up. This time gives one more rope for the up. That is why this day is called Dio than Baijiago. Sometimes unpleasant incidents happen nowadays. It would be great if the unpleasant incident could be prevented. If it is not possible to reach a certain place, Datatra Urtek Hapaku, and dispose of it in the Tamari, it is left at same place. And in the middle of the night Bailaneos take Bhairava out of the chariot. Then they keep it in Bhairava's house. Thus ends the feast of the 9th day. But Bailanaya has one task left. That work is called Bich Puja, i.e. worship of tired gods. It is celebrated on the nearest Tuesday or Saturday. Thus ends the festival. I hope you will love my little practice and come here to watch the festival. Thanks for watching.